For those who have played it, what are your thoughts on the Elden Ring closed beta?
Well, I
I
played
I
it.
specific I specifically threw that in there for you, Chris, because for you guys don't know, Chris has been recording some footage for something special.
All right, so Chris, what are your thoughts, man?
Well, I mean, you could have just called this game Dark Souls 4.
Oh,
I mean, I have no complaints other than there was like so much happening on the map, and I just kept looking around at things that I captured. Some of the stuff may be boring because I'm like, oh, what's over here? What's over here? Like you're able to pretty much walk anywhere, and I think you can actually cross the water too, but I didn't try that. I'm pretty sure you need something to do that. It's not like Ghost of Tsushima where I can just jump like go swim in the water and get to an island or something. I'm pretty sure I'll die if I try to go in the water.
Hey,
Hmm.
Chris, how
So
does Dark Souls work with an open world? I've been trying to figure this out, and it's the one question I'm like, but but Dark Souls is like repetition and predictability. The fuck's going on now?
oh, it well basically like so you know when we play Souls and you could see the other areas you could get to through warping to the bonfire, right? You look out at the map painting and you're like, oh, there's a castle over there, and there's kind of this tower, and you'll get there later. No, this game, if you see the castle and the tower, or whatever, you walk there. It's like, hey, you're walking over there. So and then everything in between is trying to kill you.
Okay, so like if you pass like a specific rock formation and there's a werewolf there, is every time you pass by the rock formation, is there going to be a werewolf there, or are there kind of roving enemies in the open world?
No, there's patrols and stuff, and if you sit at a light of grace, which is this game's bonfire, you will uh you will respawn them. Just like the old game.
I like how they just barely pretend they're not making Dark Souls.
yeah. Anything else, Chris?
But yeah, it's good. There's just subtle analogs to the old game. So like I said, instead of a bonfire, there's this light of grace. It's this orb in the ground. You sit at it. The time of day passes as you play. So whereas before you'd be in a stage and the time of day was just frozen unless you did a certain like boss fight or events, and then maybe that would change the environment. No, this game has a day and night cycle. And I don't know if that's significant because I haven't played long enough with the beta sessions are only 3 hours and they turn on and off at odd times and you can't play if the server's not on. But when I played, like, yeah, I saw the sun set and it turned night, and you could sit at the light of grace and pass time and say like I want to wait till morning or I want to wait till night. I guess specific events probably happen or certain enemies only appear at certain times of day, which will be pretty interesting to see. I I like it a lot. Like if you like the Souls games, then you will like this game. And then if you like open world exploration, it has it in there. I got the steed. It's this kind of like kind of pack animal, and it's ethereal. It's not real. It spawns in when you need it, and when you jump off of it, it vaporizes, and it just comes back when you call it. So that's pretty good, and it helps you ride around. I didn't get to an area where we saw in the trailer like you can use that airlift and jump up, but I'm actually trying to fight a boss right now and it's whipping my ass. But yeah, the last during Throwdown right now is the last closed beta session, and then that's it.
Oh shit.
That's it till the game launches. So I'm just trying. I was just trying to see if I had the right stuff to kill this boss, and the
is that
answer
the
is
guy?
the answer is
Is
no.
that the is that the guy with the dragon arm or whatever? Oh, all the arms, or I can't remember. It was some crazy guy
No,
that they
this guy
showed.
has a messed up face. He's a giant, and he has like a look like a giant walking stick, but he pulls out these magical weapons. Like he pulls out magical daggers, he throws them at you. He has a magical
Mhm.
hammer, and he jumps really high up in the air and he comes down on your head with that hammer. So I picked a knight so I could
Um,
block it, but like he has large sweeping attacks, and of course you're fighting him on a narrow bridge. So if he
Hmm.
gets you knocked off that bridge, you fall to your death. So I just fell to my death
No
just now.
man.
All right, Chris, you
But
better you better
yeah,
you better be ready for the tours.
yeah, well, the tours are going to be be difficult though because there's not like this one path. Like Brett was saying, like all the Souls games, you just like you know where you're going. You have to stay on the path and you walk in and yeah, don't fall off the edge, right? But this game, it's like, oh, you could head to the beach over there and like you want to, oh, you see something in the distance or you see a monster. Like the draw distance is pretty good on PS5. So I saw some shit moving in the distance and I was talking to some NPC. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see what's up with this guy. Yeah, I get over there. This guy is the size of a building. I'm like, yeah, I'm not
Oh.
fucking with that. And I took off. I'm like, I'm out of here. Then I met the chick, and she's like, oh, here's your ethereal steed, and she said she was a finger maiden. I'm like, I don't know what that means. This is a kid
Oh
show. Kids,
yeah.
calm down. Calm down.
Hey.
Let's settle down.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, whoa.
I know what kind of game you're playing, lady. But, so
You
yeah,
put
then
down her, and then a microtransaction window opens up.
yo, why's my PlayStation dollars disappear? What's
Here
going
we
on?
go. Exactly.
Yeah, but it is good. Like I'm excited to play the final version, but there's nothing in this game where I'm just like, yeah, this is like so different from the Souls games. Like they really got turned a corner. No. They just figured out how to do this in an open world map. And there's a map too. You pull up the map with the touch bar. There's this giant map and it draws in as you travel, right? Like most other games and it's huge. It's huge. It looks like you unfurled the map to like Skyrim, and you're drawing it in as you move along. Now I don't know how much of it is usable, but so far I've been able to go to different places, except where there's a water boundary, and then I see islands with stuff on it. And I'm like, well, there's got to be a way to get there. I just don't know how to get there yet. We'll find out when the full game comes out.
Yeah.
And the same type of bullshit where they call me tarnished instead of ashen or hollow or it's the same thing. There's world trees, there's bonfires, you're a special type of undead person. They just call you tarnished now. And everybody hates you because you're tarnished. And then it's like, hey, the world's fucked up for some reason. Why don't you go find out? Okay. You go travel.
Right.
Was there a lot of what do you call those bloodstains or what do you call those things?
Oh, that all of that is back. People write messages on the floor. You can write messages on the floor. There's where people died. Yeah, you could replay. You touch the blood stain and you see how they died. That's all there.
Damn,
All
I
of
guess
that
these
stuff.
dudes had no patents, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they just like no patents. Let's rip it off. Let's do
And
it.
the same thing with summon signs. They're on you put your sign on the floor, someone picks you up. I just summoned two guys help me with this boss. They got jacked, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. So it's the same thing like the old games now. I don't know because I didn't make it past this boss. If your boys you call in stay with you or they leave, that would be nice. That's what I was trying to find out.
From what I hear, they don't disappear.
All right,
They
that
only disappear if they die or they leave.
that's one thing on my wish list. Also, I haven't figured out how to two-hand my weapons because the buttons change around because you can jump now. So there's a dedicated jump button. So they moved the action button to triangle, which is fucking me up because I'm so used to X being the action button for the Souls games because you can never jump, right? Except for Sekiro, there was no jumping. So X is always the action button, and triangle brought up like would operate your weapon. So you two-hand your right-handed weapon or you equip your bow. I don't have a bow with this character yet, but I'm like, okay, I have a wing spear. I want to two-hand the spear for two. I don't know how to do it, and I'm like I've tried every button combination. I'm sure it's something simple. I just can't figure it out. So it's a little weird, and the jumping is awkward because it's like you think you can clear something and you can't, and your character doesn't gesture like they can climb up. They just look like they're hovering, trying to get up somewhere, so it looks weird. I don't know. It's one of those games. You know, you don't grab onto anything. You just kind of either you make it or you don't.
Oh man. Oh, but it sounds like you had fun.
So Chris, you can confirm that the draw distance looks better on this game than it did on the GTA Definitive Edition.
Okay.
Well, I mean, this game looks a hell of a lot better than GTA Definitive Edition. I saw some guys playing that, and yeah, that did not look so good.
No, another question. I know that when I first saw this game, my biggest criticism, it was the first trailer, My biggest criticism is it looked like a PS4 game. Do you feel the same? Like when you're playing this?
Uh yeah, I mean it's not yes, there's not that leap where you feel like, oh, this is like amazing and looking on PS5. Like I downloaded specifically the PS5 version, but
Mhm.
I don't feel it looks that great. It's not impressing me over Demon Souls remake. That's for sure.
Oh,
Actually, I'd say
Oh,
that might edge this out a little bit. So I'm not yeah, I can't say that this is like, oh, this is like
I
stunning. You
mean,
know, it's amazing. The PS5 version amazing. I don't see it. It has good textures and stuff, but it's not fantastic or anything.
to be honest, like From Software has never been like the forefront of graphics. Like they look good enough in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
the only time that anybody's been wowed by the graphics of a From Software game is when other company did a remake of it.
Blue Point.
No, not Blue Point. Yeah, Blue Point. Yeah, Blue Point.
yeah, so where I would say like yeah, if you had to if I put up this footage against and then play Demon Souls remake and put up that footage, you would say Demon Souls looks better than this, right? I would
wow.
say. Whereas, but the trade-off is like Demon Souls is what it is. It's a smaller game, and what they're going for is I was like trying to figure out as I was walking around. I'm like, how did they take this engine and make the map so huge, right? Where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go this way, I'm gonna go that way. I spent a lot of time, and I have to cut down my footage to the interesting tidbits because I spent a lot of time like I'm gonna run in this direction, I'm gonna run over here, I'm gonna see what that big motherfucker over there is doing, like, and you just run over there, and I'm like, wow, you could never do that before. Like you're on your set paths in everything, Bloodborne, even Sekiro, you can't just wander around. Like although Sekiro did have big set pieces in areas, but those areas were contained still. This is not really that contained. So
Mm.
they took this same engine and made that possible. So I'll give them credit for that.